Hello, Jays Nation. Welcome back to your go-to channel, the Toronto Blue Jays News Network. Today we have 3 jam-packed updates about our Blue Army, which happened or came to notice just a few hours ago. So if you are a true Jays fan, you don't want to miss these updates. And yes, before we start the video, I request that if you are new to the channel, then don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay in a loop. Let's dive straight into the deep end because the hot stove has been burning hot and cold for us in the last few hours. Update 1. Heartbreak in the 6. Superstar snubs Jays for Dodgers while Toronto secures new Venezuelan prodigy. Folks, we have to start with the massive news that has just dropped, and it is a tough pill to swallow for everyone here in Toronto. An attempt to push an already remarkable offseason to yet another level fell short for the Toronto Blue Jays on Thursday evening. The news we were all anxiously waiting for has finally broken, and unfortunately, it is not what we wanted to hear. Kyle Tucker has reportedly reached a 4-year, $240 million agreement with the Los Angeles Dodgers. This news came after a tense wait for our Blue Jays, who were actually the World Series finalist in the bidding. We made the star outfielder a long-term offer that would have been the second largest contract in franchise history, trailing only Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s $500 million 14-year extension. To give you some context on just how aggressive our front office was, this offer would have bested the previous high allocated to a free agent, Dylan Cease's $210 million 7-year deal that was signed just a couple of months ago. The Blue Jays have been incredibly aggressive this winter. Their $337 million in commitments has been the driving force in making the American League East baseball's most aggressive division. We're talking about doling out over $716 million for 16 free agents across the division. But missing out on Tucker, who was widely considered the top free agent on the market, changes the landscape significantly. If we had landed Tucker, it would have pushed the Blue Jays further beyond the 4th competitive balance tax spending threshold. For those wondering about the money, that means this year the team will pay a 60% surcharge on the average annual value of any contract they add. The competitive balance tax threshold for 2026 is set at $244 million. Since we are a team in the tax for a second straight year, any overages are taxed at 30%. It gets even steeper. Overages between $264 and $284 million face an additional 12% surcharge. Those between $284 and $304 million face a 42.5% surcharge. And anything above $304 million faces a massive 60% surcharge. The loss of Tucker also brings up the question of Bo Bichette. An agreement with Tucker would have likely signaled the end of the Blue Jays' relationship with Bichette, our franchise cornerstone since 2019. But this miss may reopen a pathway for his return, even if it is believed there is a big financial gap with Bichette, who actually met with the Philadelphia Phillies this week. But it is not all bad news today. While we missed out on the big fish in free agency, the future of our catching position just got a major boost. The 2026 international free agency period opened on Thursday, and the Toronto Blue Jays' big signee was Venezuelan catcher Juan Caricote. The team signed him for a bonus of $1.95 million. Caricote is just 17 years old and ranked as Baseball America's 17th best prospect in their most recent international free agency rankings. He stands at 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighs 185 pounds, and looks to be a strong defensive catcher thanks to his pure athleticism. While scouts say his arm might be the worst of his attributes, That is only because he is such an elite framer and a good blocker behind the plate. Batting from the left side, he has a loose swing with plenty of projection remaining. There is a legitimate argument that Caricote has instantly become the Blue Jays' best catching prospect, taking that mantle from Edward Duran. It has been a while since we had a catching prospect worth being this excited about. Think back to when we had Alejandro Kirk, Danny Jansen, and Gabriel Moreno all coming up. Hopefully, Caricote can reopen that famous Blue Jays catching factory. Update 2. $2 million bust? Blue Jays cut ties with high-priced prospect in massive roster purge. All right, Jays Nation. Moving on to our second story. As the saying goes, out with the old, in with the new. While we celebrate the arrival of new talent like Juan Caricote, the opening of the 26 international free agency period also brings the harsh reality of the baseball business. To make room for the future, the Toronto Blue Jays have officially released a number of prospects, including one name that will definitely raise some eyebrows. The most notable departure is catching prospect Luis Meza. If you remember, Meza was a massive investment for this team. He was signed to a bonus of $2.05 million back in January of 2022. At the time, the hype was real. He instantly ranked as MLB Pipeline's 20th best Blue Jays prospect that season. But unfortunately, the investment never quite paid off on the field. His debut season in the Dominican Summer League was a struggle, where he slashed 229, 267, 292. Things got rocky in 2023 in the Florida Complex League, where his weighted runs created plus dropped to a disappointing 42. We saw a glimmer of hope in 2024, which was easily his best season. He finished with a 92 weighted runs created plus. But sadly, 2025 saw a major regression. In what was his third season with the Florida Complex League team, he slashed just 186, 280, 209 across 50 plate appearances. He failed to hit a single home run and finished with a weighted runs created plus of just 54. It is a tough break, but it shows that a high signing bonus does not always guarantee success in the big leagues. Meza was not the only one cleaning out his locker. The Jays did a significant sweep of the minor league system. Justin Kelly, a player many of us hoped would have a rebound season in 2026, was released after 5 seasons in the system. We also said goodbye to pitcher Christian Maracna, an undrafted free agent from 2024 who only threw 13.1 innings over the last 2 years. Perhaps the most surprising release on this list is pitcher J.J. Sanchez. This one is a head-scratcher because he actually had strong numbers. He posted a 3.28 earned run average and a 5.31 fielding independent pitching in 46.2 innings pitched last year. Usually, you don't see guys with those kinds of solid numbers get cut so quickly. Other names leaving the organization include Peyton Powell, Brett Garcia, who actually had a solid 3.29 earned run average, and Griff Hughes. We also parted ways with former international signings Yaiser Crespo and Samuel Acuna. Acuna had not pitched since 2023, so the writing was on the wall there. It is always a tough day when young dreams are put on hold, and we hope all these prospects can find a new home in different organizations. But for the Blue Jays, this clears the deck for the next wave of talent we are bringing in.
Update 3. The next Vladdy? Jays land whippy swinging phenom in International Hall. And finally, for our third update, we are looking way down the road at the future stars of the Rogers Center. Thursday marked a massive step forward for the franchise as the club made a splash at the start of the 2026 international signing period. We have already talked about the catcher Juan Caricote, but the Blue Jays didn't stop there. The team hopes it has added another future centerpiece in Michael Mesa. This kid is the real deal. He is ranked as the number 30 overall prospect in his entire class by MLB Pipeline. Mesa is a left-handed hitting outfielder who has been a standout performer while training with the renowned Jaime Ramos in San Cristobal. Scouts are raving about his mechanics. He works with a clean bat path and a good bit of loft in his swing, making a ton of hard contact from the left side. Evaluators describe his swing as whippy, which often leads to even more extra base power as he refines his approach. While he is a left-handed thrower with a future in the outfield grass, he might slide off center field as his frame fills out. But don't let that fool you. He is known as a hard worker who fits that prototypical all-around athlete mold. He is not necessarily a burner on the base pass, but he can glide when he reaches top speed and has the look of a possible 2020 contributor as a big league regular if everything pans out. Overall, the Blue Jays received $5,940,000 in pool money this year to spend on this talent. This is how successful franchises stay successful. Even Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the much-heralded gem of the 2015 class, took until 2019 to make his mark in the show. Mesa now joins a farm system that is already boasting immense ceilings with guys like JoJo Parker, Arjun Nimala, and Johnny King. It is a long road ahead, but the foundation is being built right now. So there you have it, Jays Nation. A roller coaster of a day. We miss out on Kyle Tucker, but we restock the cupboard with high upside talent like Michael Mesa and Juan Caricote. Now I want to hear from you. Are you disappointed we didn't land Tucker? Or are you happy the team saved that money for other moves? And which of these new prospects are you most excited to see develop? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Toronto Blue Jays News Network. If you enjoyed this update, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow, and subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss a breaking story. Until next time, keep your head up and your stick on the ice, or rather, your bat on the shoulder. Go Jays, go!